We worry about so many things: debt, safety, time, money, our children, our health. Sometimes we even worry about how much we worry. We worry so much that we can't sleep at night. Do you know what I'm talking about? In Luke 10, Jesus visits the house of Mary and Martha. And while Mary was sitting at the feet of Jesus, listening to him talk, Martha was in the kitchen doing all the preparations. And Martha began to get worried because she was stuck doing everything herself. And so she came and complained to Jesus. Verse 40 says, "She came up to him and said, 'Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to do all the serving alone? Then tell her to help me.' But the Lord answered and said to her, 'Martha, Martha, you are worried and bothered about so many things, but only one thing is necessary. For Mary has chosen the good part, which shall not be taken away from her.'" Jesus tells Martha, only one thing is necessary. When we are overcome with worry, we have done what Martha did. We've forgotten the one thing, sitting at the feet of Jesus. But we so often put our trust in other things that when they don't work out the way we want them to, we start to worry. And we become afraid because we're so focused on our own agenda. And when something gets off track, we can't handle it because we've lost control. But the real problem is not that we've lost control, but that we have forgotten that we were never meant to be in control in the first place. In John 14:1, Jesus says, "Do not let your heart be troubled. Believe in God. Believe also in me." When we wait in the presence of the Lord and hand control over to Him and say, "Lord, your plans be accomplished, not mine," He reminds us that His plans have not faltered. When you put your trust in God, He will take care of you when you can't take care of yourself. Psalms 127, 2b says, "For He gives to His beloved, even in his sleep." That means if you're trusting in God, when you're asleep, He's up working to make sure you're well taken care of. One time I was praying and seeking God about an important decision because I felt like He was leading me to start working for myself, doing contract work. And I was praying and saying, "God, I don't feel like I'm going to be able to provide for my family. I don't feel like I'm going to be able to do this." But in my spirit, I knew that God was telling me, "Don't worry, I've got it." And so I got down on my knees and I said, "God, you're in control. You're our provider. I'm going to trust you with this." And the very next day after I said that, I got a phone call with someone offering enough contract work to keep me going. And I knew that it wasn't anything that I had done. It was God. Another time, I found myself burdened by the amount of work that I was having to do. I was working late hours because I was worried that if I didn't work enough, I wouldn't be able to provide for my family. And so I came before God and said, "God, I'm tired. I'm working all the time. I don't know what to do." And God said to me, "Stop working. I've got it." And I said, "Stop working. I can't do that or else there won't be enough. I won't be able to provide." But God again said, "Stop working. I've got it." And so I took off work an hour early that day. And as soon as I took work off, I went outside and I checked the mail. And in the mailbox was a random check for $500 that I could never have predicted. And I knew that it was God that was providing for us. I'm not telling you that God doesn't want you to work. I'm telling you He doesn't want you to worry. Jesus reminds us of the most important thing. And if you will begin to seek this one thing first, you will see your problems from His perspective and not your own. I bet if an all-powerful, loving God looked down at the issues in your life, He would say, "This is what all the fuss is about? Really? I can handle that. Don't worry." Isaiah 40:31a says, "Yet those who wait for the Lord will gain new strength. They will mount up with wings like eagles."